Hello everyone, the book about which I am going to talk about is 0 to 1 and it is written by Peter Thiel and Blake Masters. According to this book, innovation is the most important thing in a startup. Without any new idea, a business can't grow. One business can grow only on the basis of the innovation. The best businesses may fail in the future if they don't think of any new idea or anything. This book is basically for the innovation factor in a startup company. According to Peter Thiel, every innovation is new and unique, and there is no formula for success. Only innovation can tell if they will survive in the future or not. Okay. So, the first chapter, it is the challenge of the future. In this chapter, author asked a very simple question. What important truth do very few people agree with you on? According to him, people answer this question keeping in mind the present, but to answer this question correctly, people should think of the future. According to the author, progress can take place in two types. First is horizontal, that is copying things, which means going from 1 to n, which is easy, and the second type is the vertical one, that is doing very few things, very new things, that means going from 0 to 1, which requires innovation and hard work. Horizontal changes globalization and vertical changes technology. China is trying to copy America, which is an example of globalization. If this continues, then there will be more devastation. So to avoid this, technology must be there. Technological advancements should be there to avoid problems. Things can be easily developed in a small business than in a big one, as it is easy to manage and convince people in a small organization than a big one. So moving on to the next chapter, which is Party Like It's 1999. According to author, during 1990s, major changes happened. Like in the early 1990s, the economical migration of investment in USA took place. During 1997, there was an economical crash in Thailand. During 1999, Euro was also launched. From 1998, dot-com mania started. It lasted till 2000. Then the bubble busted of that mania. PayPal was launched during 1998 and the motive was to replace dollar with the internet money, and it was successful until the dot-com crash. After the dot-com crash, few lessons were learned by the entrepreneurs, like make incremental advances, stay lean and flexible, improve on the competition, focus on the product, not the sales. Now the chapter 3. The happy companies are different. According to author, a company can be valuable when they not only create value but also capture value. Economists say there are two types of markets, that is perfect competition and the other one is monopoly. According to the author, under perfect competition, in the long run, no company makes an economic profit. In a monopolistic market, there is no competition. They can set their own price and control the market. Like for example, the perfect example of monopoly would be Google. Monopolistic companies do not claim to be monopoly. They hide the fact. The non-monopolistic firms have to be ruthless to survive, like paying minimum wages, etc. But monopolistic companies can focus on their plans, on their long-term plans, and according to the author, money is either an important thing or everything. So the next chapter is the ideology of competition. According to author, creative monopoly means creating a product that can benefit everybody and can make profit, and competition says no profit for anyone except for us. So competition distorts thinking and it is very bad. Companies mostly compete because they are almost the same. According to the Marx model, Companies compete because they have different ideas and goals, but according to Shakespeare, companies compete as they are more or less alike. Because of rivalry, we overemphasize old opportunities and copy the past work. According to Thiel, it will be better to get merged with the competitor if you cannot beat them. And competition is very destructive. For example, when Google and Microsoft were busy competing with each other, Apple overtook them. So, coming to the next chapter, which is the last mover advantage. According to Thiel, the value of a business today is sum total of the value it will make in the future. Hence, good businesses are judged by its ability to generate cash in the future. Technology-related companies lose money in the starting years, but they build values in the coming future. But the technological companies are very valuable and stay for longer period of time. But businesses like restaurants make money during the start, but in the future they may or may not generate value and cash. And also, even the entertainment products cannot last for longer period of time, as the audiences are very fickle-minded. So, the characteristics of monopoly, proprietary technology. According to Thiel, the proprietary technology must be at least 10 times better than the substitute. And to build something 10 times better is to invent something new. Now, the next is network effects. Network effects make a product more useful as more people use it. For example, when everyone joins Facebook, it makes sense as it makes a network. Economies of scale. According to this point, businesses get better as they grow. Business can produce more with less cost. Like software companies get better economies of scale than the service businesses. Next is branding. Creating monopoly by brand will get business monopoly. But only branding is not enough. Technology is also very important point. And then building and how to build a monopoly. Start small and monopolize. Every startup should start with a small market and slowly expand. Startup should look for a market which is not served by the competitors. Then scaling up. When the niche market is done, the company should try to expand its market, which is known as scaling up. And then don't disrupt. Disrupt means that the business is not completely new, as firms have already made into it, so it should be avoided as it creates competition. The last and the next is the last will be the first. Being first doesn't help if someone overtakes. So it's better to be the last mover that will hold the market for decades. Now coming to the next chapter, and the chapter is You Are Not a Lottery Ticket. Here author asks, is success luck or skill? According to Thiel, if success was just by luck, no one would read the book to be successful. And another question which he asked is, can you control the future? According to Thiel, future is treatable and can determine the best thing to do and do it. Future can be indefinite and can be ruled by randomness. Indefinite pessimism. Europe since 1970s, today Eurozone in crisis, nobody is in charge, don't know when the crash will happen. Enjoy life meanwhile is vacation mania. Definite pessimism. From China's perspective, economic growth cannot come fast enough. Rich people try to take money outside. Poor people prepare for the worst as they know the current growth is not sustainable. Definite optimism. Western world before 1970s, big plans that were executed, Empire State Building, Panama Canal, Apollo program, etc. Indefinite optimism. Finance eclipsed engineering as the way to approach the future. Baby boomers used to effortless programs felt entitled to it. So, the next chapter. Follow the money. According to Pareto principle, 80% effects come from 20% causes. According to Thiel, the power law becomes visible when you follow the money in venture capital. Investors try to profit from exponential growth in the early stage companies, and a few companies attain exponentially greater value than all others. Venture capital raises money from wealthy people, pool it and invest it. They have a lifespan of around 10 years. According to the author, the biggest secret in venture capital is that the best investment in a successful fund equals or outperforms the entire rest of the firm performed. Venture capital invests in those companies which has the potential to return back. So, coming to the next chapter, which is secrets. Here, the author asks a very simple question. What valuable company is nobody building? Thiel says there are no geographical locations left to discover, so maybe society thinks there are no secrets left. According to Thiel, there are two types of secrets. First is secret about the people, that is, things the people don't want to know or do not know about themselves. And secondly, the secret about nature, that is, the secret that are not discovered yet in the world. And if you get to know about any secret, never tell it to anyone. Only tell it to a few people, whoever needs to know. And every big business have been made by their own secrets. Now, the next chapter, which is foundations. The foundation of a startup must be very strong, as decisions taken in the early stages cannot be fixed. And also, choosing a partner is very crucial decision. If there is any problem with the relationship with the founders of the company, then the company only suffers. Everyone in the company should work together, and it is very tough to do it alone. So, misalignment can come from the following, like ownership, possession and the control. The board should be as small as possible and should have better communication done. Board members should be chosen very carefully. The people who are working should be compensated properly. The birth of a company happens just once, and in that moment the founder has the opportunity to set the rules and regulations and foundation of the company and foundation for the future too. So, the next chapter is the mechanisms of mafia. According to the author, every company is a culture. People have to make long-lasting relationship with one another to make a successful business. People have to be excited to work with one another. Companies should recruit skilled people who can fit in the company. People who work in the organization should be invested in the mission and not swayed by stock options or ridiculous perks. Thiel says, the best thing I did as manager at PayPal was to make every person in the company responsible for doing just one thing. The next chapter is, if you build it, will they come? People underestimate sales as engineers are biased towards building things rather than selling them. Advertisement is very much required for a company. People who think sales is nothing are actually nerds. Best salesmen are hidden. If sales are good, then the market will be a monopoly one. The company needs to sell itself to employees and investors first. Company should go for viral marketing as it encourages other users too, and it is very cheap and a very easy method. Each and every product needs sales. The next chapter is Man and the Machine. This chapter basically deals with the relationship of the of a man and the machine, that is computer. Computers are basically complements for the humans. They should not try to replace humans. Computers cannot make good judgments, but they can only comprehend a lot at once. Computers should be used as a tools, not as the employees. So the next chapter is Seeing Green. According to me, this is the best chapter in the whole book, because according to Thiel, before starting a business, an entrepreneur should ask some questions to himself. Like the questions are, can you create breakthrough technology instead of incremental improvements? Is this the right time to start a business, particularly your business? Are you starting with a big share of small market? Do you have the right team? Do you have to not to just create but deliver good products? Will your market position be defensible 10 and 20 years into the future? Have you identified a unique opportunity that others have not seen? So the last chapter of the book is the paradox. Founders follow an inverse normal distribution. Individual prominence is good and bad and can go between any two at any moment. One should not underestimate their own power.